What's happening?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Malt reviews time.
Cigar chat time.
Cigar chat time.
Yeah. We just finished being on the whiskey rant with Whiskey and the Six Rob and Social Sipper
Sipper Social Club.
Sipper Social Club.
Sipper Social Club.
Sipper. Jeremy, we were on their podcast. We were on there for a couple hours. It was a great time. Those guys are a couple amazing guys from Canada. And you know what? We smoked a beautiful cigar, and we were like, you know what? I'm craving another one.
Absolutely.
So we're like, let's record a cigar chat. We haven't done one in a while. To be honest with you guys, we've done some epic cigar chats where we had camera failures. We haven't released them because we had camera failures, including one with 1966 Cohiba.
Oof.
Yeah, we had some.
And the Partagas.
The
160,
160.
Right?
It was like a 20-year age one.
20-year age Partagas 160th anniversary.
So, yeah, it's been aged for a minute.
The best cigars fail.
Yeah, so we've done some pretty cool cigar chats that didn't get released. So hopefully this one gets released. We don't have any topics in mind. We're kind of
just winging it.
We're kind of buzzing a little bit.
It's more not so much the cigars, but the content. We were just on our game that day.
It's always like that, right?
Yeah.
So we smoked some H. Upmans, some really, really nice H. Upmans. We're going to switch to Monte Cristo number 3 for the second smoke. It's a much simpler smoke, I would say. But it's amazing how this 99-cent cutter cuts better than our $200 cutter.
It does. I hate to admit it, but it does. It does.
It's literally every time it's a flawless cut. And it's plastic. It's a little plastic cutter.
That's a damn good cut.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Versus the
circumcision tool.
What do we got on deck? We have the Monte Cristo number 3. We're drinking. What are we drinking here? You brought out a beer for us. Some Firestone.
I haven't seen this
IPA?
before. Yeah, this is for our California boys. This is fairly new. Firestone Hopnosis IPA. Using double dry crypto hops. Whatever the fuck those are.
Crypto hops.
Yeah, it was bomb though. Crypto hops.
How about we light our cigar before we chit chat?
Do it. Yeah, we featured some nutty whiskeys on the boys' rant, and it was all sherry.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch the theme a little bit here.
Is it all bourbon here? Oh yeah, I guess we got some bourbon. Well, we got bourbon or bourbon matured whiskey, even though this looks very sherry.
And Pete.
Which long row 21 is this?
Oh no, yeah, this is the only culprit, the only sherry.
But which year's release is that?
2020.
2020.
Yeah, this is October 20th, 2020. Bottle 131.
So we have Lagavulin 8.
Just because you haven't tried it yet, I had to bust it out.
I think I have tried it, but a sample.
Oh, okay.
But I might not have. I can't recall. I know I've had longer 21. I just can't remember which year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Bowmore 12, old school style Bowmore release.
The old dumpy bottled 80s, so 1960s Bowmore.
Yeah, this is the 1 liter. Mm-hmm. We have longer 21. We have Old Crow Chessman, which is right here. We have 2016 release of Four Roses. Mm-hmm. And we have a 1957. Which vintage is that bottle?
Let's see.
We had the vintage on there. I don't know if it's on there anymore. Stickers
55.
1955 vintage, 12-year-old, very, very old Fitzgerald. Starting out with a little beer, just because we had a lot of whiskey, and we just kind of want something a little different as an in-betweener. Mm-hmm. We're not analyzing whiskey right now. This is purely for enjoyment. Any of these whiskeys, we're not, we're kind of at a point right now where we can't really analyze them, but because we've been having some fun, smoking cigar, hanging out.
Salty.
I love corkscrew.
Oh, it's the
Some of
best.
these old school bottles. I'm gonna go Glencairn in mine. All right. These kind of bottles, they're always a little different depending on which one you get.
There's a
These
lot
old
of
school.
variation. Yeah, there's the liter, there's the 70 cl, 750 milliliter, Sofiantino. You'd assume the Sofiantino liter's the best.
Always with Italian imports, we always think it's the best.
Always.
So, I'd say the most exciting thing right now about whiskey is that since we order from auctions a lot, we order from overseas a lot, the euro is 1-to-1 now with the dollar.
That's a good one.
And the pound is at 1.14 as we speak.
It's insane. It's like lowest ever.
So, yeah, I think during the pandemic it might have gone down to 1.12, or was it? I don't know. Maybe 1.14 is the lowest we've seen it.
I've never seen it lower, but yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So,
Damn low.
so for guys like us who buy from overseas mostly,
Mhm.
we're used to paying like 1.35, 1.4, and then on the euro we're used to paying like 1.18, 1.2.
Mhm.
Seeing that 1-to-1 even with the euro, and getting close to that with the pound, with the dollar being very strong, it's allowing us to buy some bottles for quite a bit cheaper, especially when you're talking about expensive bottles.
Mhm.
So that's probably the most exciting thing that's going on in whiskey for us. The downside about that is you feel obligated to buy things
Mhm.
strictly because you're now seeing a massive price drop.
Mhm.
And that's the downside. It's kind of like, all right, I can't afford this anymore, but
gonna
what
do
choice do I have? I have to.
Yeah. And it's probably only going up in price every year.
Well, yeah, the euro and pound will catch up a little bit as the dollar eventually will weaken a little bit
Mm-hmm.
when interest rates come down. And then, yeah, so whiskey only tends to go up in price. We'll see what happens. But that's been pretty cool. We uncorked a really special bottling earlier, which was the Glen Grant 1953.
Mm-hmm.
That was a spectacular bottling.
The Mr. George Legacy.
Yeah.
67 years old.
Did we? Mike, if you could pick only OB bottlings,
Mm-hmm.
only OB bottlings, let's go only OB bottlings, and let's go only core range.
Okay.
Well, that might get confusing because like core range.
Like what era?
Let's just no, right now. Let's not just go only core range. Everything that's coming out of that distillery.
Okay.
Pick 5 distilleries in order, from 5 to 1, that you'd want their bottles. So you get 5 distilleries where you could get all their current releases in 2022.
Okay.
That includes their specialty releases.
Okay.
It's tough because when you do specialty, because there's certain distilleries that are releasing like $100,000 bottles, so that becomes weird. They automatically make the list.
Yeah.
And even though their core range sucks.
Macallan.
Bowmore.
Bowmore.
Yeah.
True.
So those automatically get in because their Bowmore is partnering
Bowmore's
up.
still releasing like
these weird...
1965 still.
Correct. So that's probably a weird one. All right, core range only. No specialty releases.
Okay.
5 distilleries. So Macallan would still, core range is still up to 30.
Yeah. No, I know.
And I don't know if you can include M and number 6 as core range. Probably not. Core range for Macallan would be 12, 15,
To 30.
18, 25, 30.
To 30. It's,
Yeah.
Well, it's your rules.
Yeah, I guess it's my question. But yeah, I
That's
guess because then the league series has become the special releases.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be core range for Macallan. core range for Bowmore would be kind of boring. It'd be up to the 25.
Yeah.
And then Dalmore would be... Dalmore, I'd say it's up to the 25, because then when you get to the 35, 40, and 45, it becomes in the decanters.
It's released every year. I would include that as core range for Dalmore.
Okay, you'd include the...
Up to 45.
Okay, but they're like $10,000 a bottle.
But the price is no object. What's your question? You tell me.
Price is
You're
no
asking,
object.
can you choose?
I can't include too many things. Okay, fine. Okay, pick. I'm giving you too many things. Okay.
Yeah.
Core range, 5 distilleries.
Okay.
Whatever core range is in your mind.
Okay. So for sure, Springbank. If I can go up to 45, which to me is core range, the Dalmore.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought of that unless I brought that up.
Well, no. If you tell me core range, because they release it every year, and you expect it, I include 30, 35, 40 with Dalmore and 45.
Okay.
The Dalmore and Glenturret.
Okay.
Up to 30. Macallan gets tricky. It's close.
Macallan gets tricky because, see, you're also thinking like these super expensive bottles. How could you not pick them, because they're these like extremely rare, expensive pieces too.
Right, but also Dalmore 35, 40, 45 are still sensational.
Yeah. Of course.
Just
But you're not talking about
quality.
$15,000 bottle when you're going to the 45.
No, I know, but money wasn't included.
So yeah, I know, but it almost doesn't seem fair, because most distilleries, their core range only goes up to a couple grand.
True. Let's see.
I don't even know what mine are.
I'm between. No, I know.
It's a really tough question.
Well,
It's a tough question.
Even
It's almost impossible to do. It's impossible to do.
well, and even
Because what's specialty release, what's not, it becomes a kind of an unfair question.
Well, and even like Glenfiddich is in the conversation.
No, I'm gonna.
Because we love Glenfiddich 12 and Glenfiddich 40.
Okay,
Still there.
I'm changing my question. This is because it's not gonna resonate with people. I'm changing my question. The price on the most expensive, it's a ceiling. The ceiling ends at $1,000 a bottle. Core
Okay.
range. Now it's much different.
Yeah, big time.
So the most expensive bottle you can get in the core range, so it's the core range up to 1,000.
Okay.
So now we're factoring in money, which we normally don't do when we do reviews, but because that gets weird. Just to include something like Dalmore, which wouldn't be, that's a little weird. That gets really tough.
Yeah. So obviously Springbank still.
Springbank still, because you're actually going all the way up to the 25,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Why it's the best.
Yeah. So that'd be number one easily for me too.
And I think I would still include. It's close. Yeah, above $1,000 is just the cutoff for Glenturret.
You can't do Glenturret because the 25 is more than $1,000.
Yeah. Close.
Because you're only getting the 10, the 12, and 15. There's no way you could put that in your top 5.
They need an 18. They have no 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glenturret doesn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Springbank makes it no matter what. Does Lefroy make it? Because Lefroy is still releasing the 27, the 28, and 30. Well, the 30's changed.
The 30's
it's now
not
33.
core range though.
It's 33. Okay, yeah, it's is that kind of like a specialty release?
It
You're
is,
right.
and it's not regular.
Yeah. So the Lefroy, you kind of view it up to 25 then.
Yeah.
Lefroy, you view it up to 25.
And does Highland Park still make it? What's Highland Park 30 retail?
900.
There you go.
Highland Park probably makes it then.
I think Highland Park makes it.
Yeah, the 25, 30. And by the way, you guys, Highland Park right now is much better than Highland Park 2-3 years ago. And I was sitting with the World Ambassador, and we were dramming, and I'm like, this taste, is it because I'm with you? Is it because we're sitting in this beautiful event? Is it because of the environment where we have this gorgeous view on the mountain? He's like, no. Our spirit was a little off for a few years. And right now we're tapping into the really, really good casks. So if you didn't think Highland Park 12 was good to the last 2-3 years, it's much better now.
Gotcha.
And the 21, the latest release of the 21 is very good, and the latest release of the 25 was excellent. I'd include Highland Park. I wouldn't have if it was a few years ago because the quality was going down, but it's going back up. Highland Park.
So you'd say
Springbank.
the 25 was better than 2019?
It was
the
better.
original
It was
rebranding?
rich and really sherried and danky.
But it's more sherry now.
More sherry
Got it.
now. But the one you had, we scored in 90. It was really good.
Really
I'd
good.
say this one is in 91.
Wow.
It was really good.
Okay.
And the 21 is much better than the 2019 21.
Wow.
It was just elegant. It was elegant. It was buttery. It was everybody's whiskey.
Wow.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I'd include
Well,
Highland Park.
they have an insane amount of casks.
Yeah. Even though if it's $1,000 is the limit, because you get everything up to 30.
You get the whole range.
You don't get 40, but you get the whole range up to until 40.
Yeah,
All right.
but most people don't even think about getting the 40.
Well, we're doing the full range. So all right, we got
For sure, Springbank. For sure, Highland Park.
okay Highland Park. So we got 2. We'll do teamwork here. We'll do teamwork on our 5. What else? I know we're easily forgetting stuff. And when we say Springbank, it's unfair to include like Long Row and Hazelburn. That's not fair.
No, just Springbank.
Just Springbank.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Lagavulin?
Because basically it's like 3 different distilleries. In one.
Yeah. Lagavulin, no.
No.
Because you're not getting any like. What about Ardbeg? You can go Ardbeg all the way up because the Ardbeg, it's like 1,000 to 1,100 for the 25.
It's just over. Yeah. So you can't include Ardbeg.
No Ardbeg. And Ardbeg 25 is not that good anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. Glendronach kind of ends around 21 with the range, and then it becomes specialty releases.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Glenfarclas.
Glenfarclas.
Glenfarclas 40.
So it's just over. Now it's just over 1,000.
Now it is. I know.
Yeah.
If you could, that's for sure making the list.
Yeah.
Because you get 30 on the 40.
Yeah. You get 30. Yeah. If you can get the 40, it makes it. But we capped it at 1,000. You know what would have been the magical number is 1,500, but we're not going to do that.
Of course, and you could do a Glen Turret as well.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's why 1,000 is a perfect number.
1,000 is a perfect number because it makes it
now
challenging.
you're differentiating, making a challenge.
And most people are only comfortable spending up to like $300 max for a bottle. So
Right.
So you got to be fair. And we're pushing it up to 1,000, so which makes it even unfair even then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else? Lefroy, Lagavulin, Ardbeg. I wish I had a list of all the distilleries because it would probably click.
I know. How much is... Probably too much. How much has been Romic 40?
It's now over 1,000.
Okay.
You're just trying to get a 40-year-old in your thing. You're not gonna.
Well, I'm just exploring all
There's
options.
There's no 40 now under $1,000. Glenfarclas was always going to be your cheapest, which is like 1,200.
Right. In general, I'm just starting from the highest to see my highest possible age and going down.
There's
from
no
there.
40. You're gonna think 30.
Or 35.
Think 30-year-old, which is or 25-year-old, which is plenty. Which is plenty. Okay, we almost got to go like favorite distilleries, which is in today's market a little tricky. All right, so Tamdhu has really been hitting the spot, but there's a lot of single cask specialty releases.
Lower than 18, I would say, is quite a bit of a drop off.
Yes, 18's excellent.
The 18 is awesome.
Yeah, so again, this is
Buna, although the 25 is not so much.
the 25 is dropped, but you know what? Buna 18 is bomb. Buna 18 25 is good, and then you get Buna 30. Buna makes the list
Buna 30's under 1,000.
easily. It's $500.
Yeah. And I still love Buna 12.
And Buna makes the list.
Buna makes the list.
Buna makes the list. There's so many specialty releases. If you included specialty releases, you would make the list no matter what, because you end up getting 1 million bottles.
Of course.
So we got Springbank, we got Highland Park, we got Bunnahabhain. Because Bunnahabhain 18 is bomb.
Yeah.
Then you get to 25 and you get to 30. So that easily makes a list. So essentially, this becomes a list of like what bottles do you get to go up to 25 and 30-year-old range under $1,000. That's kind of what it's becoming, but it's fun to do.
Yeah.
All right, what else? We got Buna. What about Bruichladdich? Bruichladdich. Now we got the Black Arts can't be considered a special release. It's every year.
No, because Bruichladdich is so experimental. They really don't have much of a core range.
So, but it's all the ones that come out all the time. That's a little tricky one.
Now, Bruichladdich is tricky because they're so experimental.
Can we do Daft Mill? Is there even a core range?
No. Daft Mill is like everything is a special release.
Yeah, everything's
because they only
special, yeah.
release everything seasonally. But Daft Mill is so good these days. I want to put them on the list, but it's just their range of releases is so limited.
100%.
Daft Mill's amazing.
100%.
Talisker. How much is Talisker 25?
Talisker, you actually in the U.S. you could get 30 even to
Less than 1,000.
not less. It's 1,000 on the dot.
Not anymore.
Most places no. It was 1,000 at a shop a few months ago. That shop sold the bottle, so we can actually go Talisker 30. It was 1,000. Most places try to get like 1,100, 1,200,
Right.
but it was available for 1,000. Retail is supposed to be 1,000.
Okay.
So you get the 30, 25, you get the 18, you get the 10. Then you include Talisker because you get the 25 and you get the cask strength 30. So we got 4 Talisker.
Talisker.
We need one more. Yeah, the key was to do the 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because without the 1,000, it just becomes weird. Now you're like, oh, I want this $40,000 bottle in the core range.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Of course.
Colila, no, because there's no, not Colila.
No. Even the Colila 25 is not quite up to par with the others. Although I still love Colila 12 just for the value in general.
Mm-hmm. Lagavulin core range, you're pretty much going to 16. Lefroy, I don't even know the core range. It's a little weird.
10. Well, I guess they do include like lore and select.
I don't know.
10 or the 8, 16.
Yeah. No.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Because above 16, it's all special releases.
Well, Lefroy the 25 is a regular release every year, so you got the 25.
Yeah, for Lefroy you do.
Yeah. Then I think, no. I don't think Lefroy makes the list because of that. So this is obviously not a list of our favorite distilleries. It's a list of what 5 distilleries would you take the core range up to $1,000 for. Would love to hear your lists in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a fun topic. It's not something I've never thought of. I always think of like top 5 distilleries of all time. Top 5 distilleries right now. But that includes every bottle and no price. I think it's important to, for the sake of making the conversation a little more interesting, to include a limit on price. But I think we have the 4 pretty clear. That
5th one to break in is tough, man. I'm thinking like every space cider I can think of. The Lowlands.
It's tough. I really can't pinpoint anything. And you know what? You know what? Here's what makes it tough. Because when the core range ends at, let's say, like $200-300, you're like, no, I have $1,000 to spend. I want to go something higher end.
Right.
Right. I want to be able to get to that higher end point. All right, Springbank. What about, does long grow like become a different thing because it's long grow is Springbank?
Well, and that's what hurts Springbank. If you're saying distillery, that's the distillery for all three lines. Like,
Yeah.
they've already won everything.
Well, that becomes like, that becomes insane.
So no, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do it.
They're already done.
Yeah, they're already way done. So, what if you do pick Daphne? What does that mean? What do you get?
You get every 12 that comes out, obviously.
There's no 12. It's all vintage.
Yeah, but aren't like in the seasonal release, like summer release?
They range from 11
winter?
to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get like every 11 and 12 that comes out. Whatever vintage comes out.
You're right. Those are more like, they're the specialty releases. They don't count.
Every release is special release.
Yeah.
Because the way they operate.
I feel like there's got to be a distillery that we're just like completely forgetting. Macallan, you get 12, 15, 18.
Ginger, pencil shavings.
Ginger.
Macallan, same thing. And like you've tried the modern 25 and 30.
Several times.
So you tell me.
Several times.
I haven't tried them. Are they even worth it if you can get in the price range?
If you can get the 30, I tried the 30 double oak. If you can get that at 1,000, it's worth it. Yeah, but it's 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very unique and fruity, but no, not even close. What else? I almost want to like look up like distilleries.
I know, Space Side, name them all. In alphabetical order.
Yeah, I don't know. Bruichladdich is a weird one to try to figure out in terms of core releases. Kilolman doesn't get high enough in terms of.
They're still so young because they got to keep pushing product out before it can age to stay in business. Mm-hmm.
Well, we gotta pick one. We gotta move on. People are probably like, pick your freaking distillery already.
I'm going through all the Space Siders, trying to like in alphabetical order.
Springbank, Talisker, Buna. What was the fourth?
Talisker.
I already said Talisker, asshole.
Got it.
Springbank, Buna,
Highland Park.
Talisker, Highland Park. We gotta get to a fifth before I turn the camera off, man.
We will. Oh, this Laga, dude.
Bulmer was bomb.
Bulmer is bomb, right?
Yeah, Bulmer's bomb.
It does make you curious about the Sofiantina, though, for sure. Leader. Okay, Space Siders. Lowlands, obviously, no. There's like Bladnik, Akantoshin,
Yeah.
Daphne. Gotta be a Space Sider.
Yeah.
It just shows you like Macallan. We're not even like trying to go there.
You can't unless
even though under 25 should still be.
Well, Macallan would have made the list
quality to the rest.
if price didn't matter, because then we'd get to 25 and 30 in the range, and we'd get both the double oak. You know what?
And the straight sherry.
Yeah. But still, ugh. The only thing about Macallan is if you're choosing, because you're getting every bottle. You're getting the double cask. You're getting the sherry. You're getting the
Triple cast.
triple cask of the 12 And then 15, 18.
18.
So you're getting so many different bottles. So there's an argument for it, but none of those bottles reach the 90 mark.
Mm.
So it's like I want something that gets to the 90 mark.
Mm-hmm.
And so Edradour and Tamdhu would be options, but they're not some of the vintage ones they release. For example, there's Edradour 21 and 20-year-olds that come out, but that's not part of the core range.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, now you're getting into, in general, like top 5 distilleries today.
Yes,
Just the
quality, and that's not what we're doing.
The quality they can put
We're
out.
just trying to keep every bottle in the core range,
Exactly.
up to $1,000.
Right. Yeah, especially Edradour, the quality they put out today is second to none.
That's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
By the end of the chat, we'll have our 5th one.
No, we need to get a 5th one. All right, we got to pick one at this point, so we can move on.
Well, here, okay. There's no 30s left. Glenfarclas 30. That's probably it. Go for 25s.
Ardbeg 25.
No.
It's a no, but you could probably find it for around that price. We don't have an Isla in there. We got to throw an Isla in there.
No Islas?
We didn't have any Islas in there.
Bunahaven?
It's unpeated. It's the 12. It's the 12, 18, and 25, and 30.
It's
Don't
not
have
no
any
Isla. You need a peated one, you mean?
Yeah.
Got it. Spring May.
True. Talisker is peated too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Help us out, guys. If it was alive, this would help a lot.
Help a lot. Be like, this, you motherfuckers, this is so, that's so.
Yeah.
I know.
Aaron.
Hard.
Aaron it is.
25?
10.
Yeah.
Aaron, 5th pick. 10.
Aaron.
18.
We forgot the islands, bro.
Yeah.
That's why. Forgot the region.
10. 18. There's
25.
there's a quarter cask or whatever. There's bodega cask or
Sherry cask?
yeah.
Yeah,
You get the 25. You get the 21.
Cast?
And you get
25.
the 25.
Aaron,
You
done.
get variety.
Aaron, done.
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 I'm telling you,
I was
see,
saying
if
it
we had
whole
the
time.
list,
Say it the whole time. Bro.
if we had a list of distilleries in front of us, it would have been a lot easier. Now, I guarantee you we're forgetting a couple, so.
Still. But yeah, in the comments,
Now.
please tell us
Now,
what
my
your
only
top 5
beef,
are.
my only beef with picking Aaron. Yeah, Aaron. We'll pick Aaron, but I just don't even know if any of those whiskeys even get to a 90. But we got whiskeys in the 88 to 89 range.
Well, that's a lot of whiskeys.
Yeah. A lot of good whiskeys.
It's all relative.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Well, and when you make it about core range versus overall quality,
Oh, Glenallachie.
not for me.
12, 15, 18, 25, 21, and 30.
How much is 30?
Retail, I think, 800-900.
Still though, for me, only the 30. 25 and 30, that's it. Like overall for the range, I'll take Aaron over Glenallachie. But we might differ on that, which is fine.
You know, I'm not. You already know me. I'm not a huge fan of Glenallachie, and I haven't tried Glenallachie 21 and 30.
Same.
But those are cask strength, 21-year-old and 30s that are highly reviewed, and they're part of the core range.
Again, unless I try it, I can't put it over the top. Gotta go with Aaron.
I'll go Glenallachie because I'm getting to 21 and 25. At 21, I really, really like the 25. And I'm not a huge fan of the rest of the range, but they're good. But I really like the 25, and I'm getting a cask strength 21 and 30 that I haven't tried. I'll go Glenallachie. You go, Aaron.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think as a stock, you're buying Glenallachie low,
Yeah.
and it's going to go up
Yeah,
over
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Probably a good investment.
That's what I would do. And there's also an excitement level because I haven't tried the 21 and 30, and I want to try them.
Yeah, dude, this is fucking insane right now, dude. Oh, wow. That's good though. That's pretty good. We're always forgetting some, but I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think everyone agrees on Springbank.
Everyone's going to agree on Springbank. Some people are going to disagree on Highland Park, but if you try the latest releases of the 21, 25, and 30, they're good. You're getting whiskeys in the 90, 91 range, so you're doing good. In fact, you're doing so good where I would actually put it as number 2 after Springbank. If you're going under 1,000, that I get to not pay for and just get every bottle of.
That was our second choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now rank them. There you go.
Rank them, I'd go Springbank number 1, Highland Park number 2,
Yep.
Talisker number 3, because you're getting the 25 and 30 and the 18, which we love,
Yep.
and the 10, which we actually like. And then I would go...
And then Buna and Aaron?
For then Buna and Aaron.
Well, for you, Glenallachie.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That'd be the list.
There you go.
So, Mike, we've been doing solo reviews recently.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you guys think of the solo reviews we've been doing recently. Obviously, we can't get together all the time to do reviews together. And our channel really suffers because we've had now... I mean, I don't even think we have 300 reviews and we've been on YouTube for 7 years.
That's right.
Where other channels will have 300 reviews in a year or year and a half, right? So, excuse me. So we're not able to grow ever because the algorithm will never favor us. Even though we review crazy whiskeys, the algorithm's never gonna help us out. So we decided to, for the sake of getting more videos out, to review some regular bottles that are available to purchase as solo reviews and do the rare unicorn stuff together. Which is mainly what our channel is about. So that kind of changes what our channel is. Our channel is still about that, but we're also going to do some regular stuff as well. And we're fortunate to have plenty of both. So I want to hear your thoughts on that, what you guys think of the additional content. Some people might be like, yeah, we love the additional content. It can't hurt. It's more content. Some people might be like, it's not your brand. Your brand is to do high-end stuff only, right?
Yeah, like you guys are selling out.
Not selling out. It's not selling. I don't think it's selling out, but it's like we view this channel for high-end stuff. We're not looking to see you do Bunnahabhain 12.
Unicorns only.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get back to the unicorns,
We should change the channel to Unicorns Only.
Yes, exactly. Unicorn juice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm curious about that. But when I was kind of recording alone, not having you around, and just kind of brainstorming for myself, not having someone to kind of go back and forth with, I started kind of like not changing my scoring system, but I kind of was like, you know what? What I used to view as like a very, very, very good whiskey used to be an 88. That was like the pinpoint for me of like, wow. You get to 90, it's a special whiskey, right? This is a special whiskey. But a very, very, very good whiskey, like I have to buy this, was an 88. I kind of changed that in my mind to say anything over an 85 needs to be a very, very, very good whiskey. So an 86 now is a very, very good whiskey. So it's not like I changed my scoring in like, is a 94 any different than a 95 now? No. Is a 90 different than a 91? No, that kind of stays the same. But I kind of made it a little harder to get to an 86 and an 87
Gotcha.
than I did before. So it's just a little bit harder to get to that 86 point. So I just want to share that if you see, from me at least, if I get to an 86, it's very, very good.
Right.
And I listened to Roy's podcast. What's it called? Dramface.
Dramface.
Great podcast. You guys need to check it out if you haven't. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
I love it. I've listened to every episode, and they talk about scoring on why it needs to be between 1 and 10. They score between 1 and 10 on Dramface because they're like, look, what's the point when you're literally scoring everything somewhere between an 80 and a 95? You're literally using a 10 to 15 point scale anyways, right? My argument against doing a 10-point scale is, yes, I'm scoring, you're right, I am scoring most things between an 80 and a 95 because I've now had 15 years of whiskey experience and I know what not to buy. But there are plenty of whiskeys. I'm not going to go buy a Johnny Walker Red. That is going to score somewhere in the 50s and 60s, right? But I'm not going to go buy that, and I'm not going to go review that. And then also, like, what about, as a spirit score, right? What's a bottle of pop-off vodka, like a cheap bottle of vodka? Well, that's something in the
Like
10 to 20 range, right? Somewhere in there, right? I'd have to line up a bunch of different vodkas to truly know where I would put it, but somewhere in that low range, right? So that's why I think a 100-point scale is necessary, because if you're only doing up to 10, then maybe a Johnny Walker Black might be a 2 or a 3, but then what's the pop-off vodka? I know it's whiskey reviews, it's not vodka reviews, but as a spectrum of spirits, I feel like my score I want my score to show off that this whiskey is this amongst all spirits.
Well, and 90 versus 97,
That's
98?
the hardest part. That's the hardest part.
9, what's the point?
Is a 9. Well, they also make a really good argument. If you listen to their episode on scoring, they made me think twice about it. And I would love for half points to at least be involved if you're doing 9, 9.5, and so on. But what's the...
After you're 9.1, 9.2, and the same thing as we do.
That becomes the same thing.
Yeah.
But they make a different argument. The scoring's not everything, and you give something 9 if it's very, very good. But a 9 is a 90, but what's a 95? Is that also a 9? Because that's a massive difference.
Yeah.
So that's where I disagree. But you need to listen to the episode to hear their argument, because their argument is also very good. But I still stick to the 100-point because of it. But it's something to think about, because they're right. 99% of scores are in that range of 85 to 95, anyways, right?
Because that's again, once you have experience, like you said, some acumen, that's the quality range. Mm-hmm. We're not going to buy anything or spend our hard-earned money if it's not in that range. But yeah, like 90 and 99 are the exact same score.
No, 99 would be a 10.
100 would be a 10.
No. I think no. Because you gotta think of it there. You gotta listen to them. I don't know if you listened to that episode. They don't say it this way, but the understanding that I get is if something was a 96, 97, 98, 99, or 100, that would have scored 10.
Not mathematically. If it's got a 9
it's
in
a different scoring system. It's a different way of viewing it.
That's a lot of context. I'm just saying.
Everything is context, and everything is
got a 9
thing.
in it.
And again, this isn't. There's no perfect system. There's no perfect system because their number one argument where I that I resonated with is, all right, you're scoring something in 86 and 87. How good is that? You're now scoring, because you see a lot of reviewers, especially on YouTube, where they'll just grab like an average bottle of whiskey, and it's an 86, it's an 87, and on a 100-point scale, is that really an 86 and 87? That's a kind of an epic score. If you think about it, there's only 100 points. It's an 86, 87. It needs to be a really, really epic whiskey. And in their eyes is like, that's a 5 for me. You're scoring it an 86, 87 because your brain is thinking in that 80, 90 range constantly. Kind of what I grabbed from it. It's like you're starting to now. I'm not going to name the channel, but I was watching a review recently where it's like, I don't like this whiskey. It's not for me. 85. 85. That's a solid B.
Yeah,
It should be something you love.
If it's not for you, it should be like a 20 or 30.
If it's not for you, it should be maybe a 60 or something like that, right? So that's where I
agree with him.
That's where I agree with them. Yeah, because we get confused. It's like that person reviewing the whiskey, if they really sat down and thought about it, they're like, that's a B. B's very good, B's next to A. So
a B is almost an A.
Yeah. And so in that person's mind, if they maybe thought about it, if it was 1 to 10, they'd be like, it's not for me. It's a 5. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the scale kind of goes. Let us know what you think in terms of scoring. Does it need to be 100 point? Do you resonate more with a 10-point scale, like they were saying on Dramface? And yeah, definitely check out Dramface. They're awesome podcast.
Yeah, I guess I would say, like, if it's not for me at that level, I'd probably go down to like 70s.
Yes.
Just because, like, there's a certain quality where the whiskey is drinkable.
Yeah.
It's, it's not sharp. It's not,
right.
You said, like, vodka.
Right.
There's the quality of distillate as well involved.
Well, think about it this way.
There's a certain minimum.
Think about it this way. Glenfiddich 12. To me, that's a 79 to 80 level kind of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. It's super solid. But if I was scoring it from 1 to 10, I don't see how it gets really higher than a 5 or a 6. Does that mean it's a 60? No. The scale is different when it's 1 to 10. So there's like certain whiskeys. I swear. This is where my mind. There's certain whiskeys where I'm like, this almost makes more sense to rate it from 1 to 10. And then there's certain whiskeys where I'm like, no, it has to be in a 100-point scale. It is impossible. And the whiskeys we review need to be from a 100-point scale.
Obviously,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say, once it goes above a certain level where you have to differentiate, not like 90 to 99, whatever, then you have to.
But do you see what I'm saying? If Glenfiddich 12 is a 79 for me, that means it's an 8 in a 10-point scale, but it's not an 8. On a 10-point scale, I'd view it as a 5 or 6.
Or the very high level of 7.
It's not. Can't. If it's a 10-point scale, I give it a 6 at best.
Got it. So one notch lower. Got it.
Yeah, because it's a 10-point scale. You got. I don't know if you really maybe that episode helped me clarify things like that, but I don't know. I just think it opened my mind up to like thinking about scoring perhaps in a little different way. And they brought up Michael Jackson, how like tons of his scores were in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, it's interesting. Almost as interesting as drinking Old Crow 1959.
No, I think in general you could argue that maybe we score things up too much of a certain minimum.
That's exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're saying because
they're like,
because you're doing it out of 100, you're scoring it way higher. They're like, when have you ever used a score in the 60s and 50s and 40s? So you have the scale that's essentially from 75 to 100 or whatever, 80 to 100 or whatever. That's their argument.
So it's more on us that we're overscoring things in 0 to 100 range.
It's more to think about. It's fun. It's fun to think about.
For sure, though, like when a whiskey's of a certain quality, for differentiation, then everything's a 9.
Yeah,
every monster's a 9,
and that's okay. And sometimes it's just a little more simple to do that than having to like overanalyze it and try to figure it out. But have you ever thought of like when you rate a good whiskey that you're reviewing? Okay, I'm gonna think of a whiskey you recently reviewed. Would you give did you release a Lechek 10 or something like that?
Yeah, Lechek 10.
Would you give it an 86?
87, I think.
Okay, so 87.
87.
Think about the epic bottles that you've given 90 to.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 3 points lower. You see what I'm saying? Like when you think about it that way?
I would say, though, from 0 to 10, I'd give it an 8.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of 8s out there.
Okay.
But not a 9. I wouldn't give it a 7.
Okay.
It's better than a 7.
Wow. Okay. So you absolutely adored it.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not a 9.
Wow.
It's an 8.
Well, I'll tell you this. This whiskey I'm drinking right now
Oh, yeah.
might be a 9.
Right? There you go.
It's fun conversation.
Of course.
It's fun conversation, and that's what cigar chats are about.
It's a debate
Yeah.
that by design will never end.
I 1,000,000%.
Which is the best kind of debate.
I need to have a 100-point scale. I don't know how to score differently because I've now spent 15 years figuring out and changing and fine-tuning my scoring system. I'm not about to change. But I liked listening to their episode and their discussion about it. That's all I'm saying.
Of course. And so that's how Roy scores it, right?
Yeah.
No, by design, it's a debate that will never end and should never end.
Yeah.
Because everyone sees things differently.
Yeah.
And then some people do A through F, where you're cutting the 0 through 10 in half. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, and then the next level, you could argue if we do half points.
Yeah.
You can go forever.
You enjoy Dram?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go grab a nice coffee. You want anything?
I'm good. Iced coffee time, baby. I would say that coffee is the best thing with cigars. We love whiskey. We're a whiskey channel, but coffee and cigar is the best way to bring out a cigar. Espresso and cigar, cappuccino and cigar. Oh, now, onto this Old Crow. This Old Crow, which is National Distillers, which was probably the biggest and consensus agreed best distillery in America of the time. This is distilled 1959. It says bottled 1969. This is an Indiana, state of Indiana tax stamp bottle. There has to be older stuff in here than 10 years old. This is insane. This is almost, we've done the review from a sample. This is almost not bourbon at all. This is becoming Scotch. It's pure nougat, motor oil. It's crazy. From the Chessman decanter. Nuts. And 86 proof.
Prost.
Nice. It noses way better than 86 proof.
Coffee
Blue bottle?
and cigar. Blue bottle. New Orleans.
Good man. Ah, New Orleans. Nice. Insane.
Oh, it's tasty.
But yeah, really, coffee and cigar is the
Coffee,
best combo.
dark chocolate,
That's
cigar.
great. Yep.
It's good chili, Mike.
Made for each other. Speaking of coffee. Oh my god. Wow. It's got nuts.
What What are you drinking?
Old Crow.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, what's cool about the Old Crows, every bottle's going to be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
The good and downside. Any topics?
There's no
You
way.
wanna go over?
No way this is only 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's
bourbon.
crazy. This is crazy.
Sitting in 300-year-old trees.
Or it's that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We were talking about it with Rob and Jeremy
Wow.
earlier today. The fact that not only that everything in the old school days was so organically grown,
Yes.
how different the soil and dirt and everything was in the 50s and 60s, and how everything was grown organically without additives and without rushing, and all they knew was to do things organically,
Mm-hmm.
without scientifical advantages and
Computers?
advancements. Yeah.
No computers.
So everything is mass produced now. Now you could spray a little something something on your whatever, and everything is multiplying by 50. And your fruit trees, your bananas are this big now, when an organic banana can only pretty much be this big. Like everything is just fake now, right? And mass produced for money. So we're talking about the way the barley is being produced, how natural everything is, and the trees they were cutting were these 400-year-old trees to make casks out of,
Oh, God.
and how long those casks were seasoned with sherry, or what kind of bourbon was matured in the from the bourbon side, the American trees that were 200-300 years old, and then sent to be matured. You're getting stuff like this. This was sent to Scotland
Right.
to mature.
You
to
forgot to
mature
mention
whiskey
that.
with.
Yeah, you're getting National Distillers.
Yes.
And Stitzel-Weller.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
50s, 60s. Oh, yeah.
So the trees.
It's a good point, because it lines up with the best era of Scotch.
Yeah.
50s, 60s.
Yeah. So from the transport cask having real sherry in it, to the old trees versus what you're cutting nowadays, from the soil, the dirt, how organic everything was. It's just, there's so many reasons why things were, the old school whiskeys are so much better. And then you factor in bottle aging. By the way, bottle aging, you can't age whiskey in glass, but if you leave whiskey in glass for 35 plus years, and it doesn't start happening until it's been in glass for about 35 plus years. So you're getting like 40 years for it to act, this magic to start happening. So once you've left it in glass for that long, there is this mellowing effect, this marrying effect of everything that just becomes another thing, and that's called bottle aging.
It's like aging a cigar.
Yeah.
For 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah, but you can age a cigar for 5 years, and it's like aging it in a barrel. Aging a cigar is like aging it in a barrel.
True.
Yeah. It's a little different. Man, it's chocolatey.
But once you get to 20, 30 years with a cigar, oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
100%.
But yeah, imagine you're getting like a 1955 Stitzel-Weller cask for your Springbank local barley.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's what it used to be. You're smoking your cigar much faster than me today.
Both times, I know.
Yeah, both times downing it. You're feeding today, huh?
Fiending.
All right. Well, should we wrap this cigar chat up? I think we spent 90% of it trying to figure out what our fifth distillery was going to be.
What's your guys' fifth distillery? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just hanging out. We started off kind of, to be honest with you guys, buzzing a little bit after doing the rant with the boys.
Yeah.
But good times. Hopefully the camera didn't cut off this time, and we'll be able to release this one.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll
All right, guys.
see.
Cheers. We'll see you guys soon for many more.
Cheers.